Sissy, how are you? Excuse me, please. How are you, Sissy? Dangerous kiss. Happy Sunday. Not cooking today. Um, the kitchens is being occupied all the time, so I take some time off. How are you doing? It's good to see you in here. Sissy, I went and filled out the recipe already for the chow mein, so you're welcome to check it out on the, the descriptions. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I got my hat on. Yeah, I got this from, let's see, supposed to be slanted like that. Look more like I'm belong to some sort of clan. Um, today last night I finished um last night I finished the touching up my uh, my old painting. Okay, so let me show you. Oh, I finished that last night. Okay, so let's see, where are we? It looked a little scary. I add the hair because I always have long hair. So so that was done last night. So so today I thought that I'll do something fun. I'm making flower petals. Okay, this is going to be the Cambodian National Flower is called Duol.
The time I spent in Thailand.
So I finished that last night. It was fun, and so today I thought that I would do something fun also. How are you? Oh, interesting. I think my TikTok channel got suspended because I've been talking too much about. You know that funny because you know that how Thailand they control the narrative, so they don't want people to know the truth. So if anybody talk about anything about the country, they will block them. So I guess that's what just happened to my TikTok channels. We'll see. I will have to appeal for that. They, those are a bunch of mean people. I'm so ashamed to be part of Thailand clan. That's disappointing, you know, that you can't even speak the truth without offending, without afraid of them doing something nasty to you. So I heard a lot about how a lot of content creators channel got blocked or got taken down because they do talk about stand with Cambodia and they will block you. They don't Thai people don't want you to stand against them. That's why I remained quiet for a long time and then I have to speak up, right? So when I do speak up, that's what happened. So But I'm not scared of these people, though. I mean, I don't know what else they're gonna do, but it's annoying. It's nuisance, how they can do this kind of stuff to content creators. So how are we doing? It's good to have all of you dangerous damaged kids. I don't know why I call you dangerous kids for. I'm sorry, okay. Damaged kids. I got it. I have to program that in my system here. Damaged kids. Um, yeah, that's what happened to my TikTok. I'll have to figure it out later why. Um, it said that I'm banned from live. So I think my account's still there, but I'm just being banned. Isn't that crazy? You know that Thai people, they have a whole bunch of a crew of cyber attack crew. They are intelligence of young people who know how to deal with these sort of things. So what they do is that they would go into people account, the one that do talk and stand with Cambodian, and if you say anything negative about a country or trying to stand for justice and truth, they will shut you down. They do that with a lot of American content creators also. I mean, it's my first time facing this. I'm gonna have to go take care of that soon. That's so stupid. This is why I'm ashamed of being with this country. I was born in Cambodia, but my grandparents, both of my grandparents are from Thailand. So I'm trying to be fair and to be courteous, but this kind of thing that they do to people, so such nasty. Um, yeah, they see, and that's why people said that I'm an influencer. Why don't I talk about my country? Why don't I come up and tell the truth? When why do I remain silent? This is what I'm trying to avoid. I mean, I speak lowly. I don't speak anything negative. And you hear me saying that I stand with justice, truth, and human right? I never attack any side of country, but still they still don't want to hear it. So yeah, damage case. They do nasty stuff, and what and that was what my other content creator trying to tell me, that to go and help them spread the news. And when I do, this is what happened, and oh, it'll be crazy if they try to do that on my YouTube channels. I mean, to restore all this shitty stuff would take some time, but you see that when when people got thing to hide, just like anybody who got thing to hide, they don't want anybody to know. If someone trying to speak the truth, and this is thing that happened. I'm not the only one that they do that. They've been doing this since all these propagandas, when they spread lies and propagandas and bad news. So when people figured out that it was lie with proof, and then people start speaking up and standing up, and then that's what happened to them. Sometimes some content creator have to go through 3 times of, or even sometimes have to create new channels. For my channel, I have to find out. This is irritating. Yeah, I have to find out soon. I can't believe they do this kind of crappy stuff. Now I believe them. I have Facebook too. My Facebook is still okay. I repost a lot of stuff on Facebook, so we'll see what happens. Thank you, CC. I have had someone gave me this hat, so I have a few hats that I collect over times, and um, I'm a bookworm, so I have books everywhere. I'm overloaded with books. I have a big library outside, building big libraries, and I have books everywhere. I used to read a lot. And how are you doing, Cece? Good to have you. Thank you. So you know that I finished La Boo Boo. I did this. I finished that the night before. Well, last night I was working on the painting. So the night before, I made La Boo Boo. I call her La Nunu, it's cousin of La Boo Boo. So I got her all packed with all these gear. And so to make her less scary, so she got green bracelet, you know, and the spectacles, and the beanies, and the ears. This is not horn, okay? I don't. I'm not trying to think of anything negative. So this would go to one lucky viewers or lucky followers. I'm making this when I have enough of items. I'll select names of people who follow me and supporting me on my channels, and whoever will like Labubu, because I only make one. Okay, it's gonna be like exclusive, just one Labubu. Um, yeah, I learned the patterns and it's a little sophisticated because well it's not hard, it's just a lot of little detail left and right, so um oh thank you. I just lost my channel on on TikTok just now. I just found out. I went on someone else live show earlier. It's just that they don't allow me to go live. I think my not right now, babe. I'm going on live. Thank you. Um, I went on someone else live later. I mean, just before I got on here, and it was okay. I think I'm just not allowed to go on live. I'm not sure. Have to find out who is causing the nuisance on my channel. But here I'm cool. I'm doing it from my computer. I don't normally do on the computer, but I think the computer it's fun because I'm in my bedrooms, and some when I cook in the cooking outside, and it's a little nuisance also because my kitchen is in like in a poor corner. I mean, I can't have a straight projecting with like on the side projecting. It's kind of weird. So I do what I have to do. So one of these days when I reach million viewers, I'll be able to create my own cooking studio. That would be fun, right? But mm, yeah, it's I heard a lot about how people got affected. A lot of content creators was saying the same thing. They have to appeal with whatever the source that they on, the channel that they on, or even uh, appeal with TikToks and appeal with Facebook. I hope my Facebook is still okay. I haven't been on Facebook all day today, so you see this kind of thing that they do, that's really irritating. They don't have to do that, you know. And sometimes they go in there and block all this country that they don't want you to spread the news on. They just mean to me. I'm just bully. Yeah, that's why when you see, I used to be so proud to share people that I'm Thai descent. Now I'm ashamed of even telling anybody that I'm Thai descent because they really like they really make me feel like I need to abandon my what do you call it, my abandon my nationality. So this is what they classify me with. Okay, so they said that I'm a Thai race, Cambodian nationality when we do the immigration paper to come to America, they classify you. Though they said there's only one human race, but they classify as my family as Thai race, Cambodian nationality. Yeah, they classify us. Yeah. We didn't classify ourselves. They classify us. So then I owe nationality to Cambodian and I owe race to Thai. So because both of my grandparents are from Thailand, so I used to be proud of that lineage, but now not anymore. I'm going to annihilate my original lineage. I'm not even claim that I'm from that region because they really disgusted me. But the things about my family in Thailand, when I call my uncle up and ask about what's going on, and and he's kind of mocking, I said, "Hey, uncle, what's going on? How things going?" Go. I know who he is, because all he heard was the false news and false narrative, and believing that Cambodian are danger to Thai, pose danger to Thailand. So that's all they heard. That's all the news control. So then, but my uncle forgotten that he was born in Cambodia, though he had become Thai citizens and had a fancy position with the um with the Senate, but he forgotten he was born in Cambodia. So we have that little discussion, and so I just stopped talking to him because you love green. They, I know, right? You like Labubu? You never know. Maybe Labubu will go home with you because people were saying that Labubu derived from the other side of the world, and people think that it has some kind of dark energy, whatever. I mean, people have all kind of narrative. It's kind of scary that now that people would do things and put thing on the content like you never heard before. That's really, I don't know. You see, I don't believe in a lot of stuff that a lot of content that I heard. I don't believe in, until I really see it. We can't have anything now. People scared to eat foods, and people scared to eat meat. People don't want to do anything now. Or first they said that GMO growth, and you don't eat vegetable that grow with all that chemicals. And now with the cow, with the chicken, with all that. So pretty soon, what are we gonna do? I mean, the thing that we supposed to depending on livelihood and living, eating and enjoy now is being told that it's not healthy, it's not this and that, and people withdraw from, refrain from eating chicken, eating steak, eating whatever it is. I mean, so what's going to happen to us in another 10 to 20 years? What's going to happen? How are we going to live under threat like that? I mean, we are not at war with uh, we're not at physical war, but we on war with diet, with food. So that's scary, right? Yeah, green my favorite too. I love green because greens, it does have that symbolic of energy. I always thought about green, think of money, think of trees, think of green hills. Yeah. But other than that, I'm a little perturbed with my TikTok is being suspended, so I'm gonna have to find out later how that had happened. See, if I were to be belligerently defame, and challenge and be negative about the whole thing, I could have. If I were one of those media outlet or content that makes specifically to condemn Thailand or Cambodia, then I can see that I'm being disrupted. That's a stupid. See, this kind of thing is what caused people to get mad. So, do you do your own channel too, Cece? You don't do content, huh? What about you, Damage Case? You do content too? I like green, but there's certain shade of greens that I like. So you, oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. I wasn't until I started doing cooking show and and I just start doing the TikTok live, and I do live on Facebook. Then I do dual cameras. So one for I do I would do one for TikTok and one for YouTube. That way, I get I get one bird with no get two bird with with one pole, and I would have to go figure out what is going on with my TikTok. Well, TikTok is strict because there's time where when I travel overseas and I would just like innocently post something about my destination, where so I like to keep my family and my follower in check where I the next destination that I'm at. So I was in South Korea airport, and I only do family picture with my mom and just saying that I'm over here, at this airport here. And then I got in trouble with TikTok. They were saying that, well, I violated the community policy. I'm like, what? Posting my own picture? I violate community policy? Come on now, So then I thought about why is a violation, because I think the TikTok owned by Chinese, by China, and then China don't want, uh, or I think the Korean has a very strict social outlet, right? So they don't want anything to leave the country. They don't want people to have access to any kind of media. So I was okay with that, and they didn't shut me down, but they said that I got a warning. So this time we'll see what they're going to say about it. So, and I hope they're not getting to me on my YouTube channel. Then I'll be furious for real. Because if I have to start over and lose all my followers and my community hours and all that, I'll be on fire for real. Because I do post cooking, um, nothing crazy. I'm just doing cooking shows, and I saw that was more fun to see and more fun to share with the community, about um, food are being prepared and all that in that region. So it was nothing crazy, you know. But then, but then, you never know, because there are a lot of crazy people that don't want anything to be heard or be seen, especially the country that constantly lies about the truth. But if we keep talking, they might shut. So that's why I tell my people that I don't want to get involved in politics. I just want to concentrate on cooking, on my cooking show, and not have to worry about what's going on in my country. But then, if I remain in ignorance and worried about losing my channel, then I'm really a loser. You know, if I have to lose my channel because I'm standing for some for justice, then I really am a coward. You know, but well, I have another channel that um but I'm not active on that, so I'm not sure what's going to happen now, you know, because A backup channels. What do you mean by that, CC? How do I do that? I mean, you're probably good about how some of the thing work. Because if I don't want to lose my YouTube, I mean my my TikTok. I don't care because I don't really care about TikToks anyway. I do that just for fun. I'm just talking to people from that channel. Sometimes they follow me to YouTube also, and that's how I'm on TikTok. So my channel name on here is Chef Inn. The other one is just Vanna Bodine. I think it was my marriage. I don't even remember the login information because I wasn't even active on that channel. Yeah, even they do this nuisance stuff to me, it's not that I can't retrieve. I think I could, but it's just a lot of work, right? By the time they figured out and investigations and all that, they really caused this nuisance and inconvenience and hustling. I don't know whether people get shut down on YouTube because I'm not offending them. I mean, yeah, maybe I should, because I don't get a lot of follower on my live show. I mean, I just started doing this not long ago. Um, I'm still trying to put my live content out there. People just pop in here and don't stay to converse like both of you do. You know, yeah. Sorry, I'm looking for my yarn. So, because I don't know how YouTube policy work. That's why I know that when people get shut downs and they have to create new policy, new channels, and they have to start everything over, that would be devastating. At that point, I don't even know if I want to come back and do that anymore. That's too much work. I mean, this is my second year YouTubing, and I barely earned like 3,000 something on the real times hours, community hours, but then on my platform, I barely have like 1,700, so I have a long way to go. So with the community watch hours, so that's the only thing that I need actually, just a community watch hour. I have enough of my followers and my subscribers. Let me get my computer charged up. So when I do get my community hour watch completed, then I should be able to get some monetizing. But right now I'm not. So when I started YouTubing, I wasn't serious. I was doing for fun, and then I didn't realize that I can get serious and you know. Oh, 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 okay. Well, I um because I only make one here. I was gonna give this away to my followers. Okay, so I can definitely look at the labubu. I'm not sure because the work that I put toward this, it was not hard. Okay, it's just a little detail that I do add into it. It's just like this cute feature because I want to soften her you know that underground look. So that's why I create all these features just to soften her, to make her feel welcome, that she's not something negative and people think negative. So that's why on this fun feature I add on, normally I wouldn't. So I because it's a lot of work, I'll do a good 30, I mean, it does sound expensive, but then it's not that the material is expensive, but the time consuming, and then probably have to pay for the shipping and handling too, maybe another $10 extra. Okay, so depend on what color she would like, and then I can do that for her. And well, this is a size that almost the normal size of the Labubu, a little bit bigger, but probably because I add accessory to it, so it make it look a little bit better. Okay, so yeah, I when I first learned about the Labubu, my granddaughter gave me a green one too. She had a few, so I didn't know anything about Labubu. And then when my baby daughter came over and she has a Labubu hang down to her purse, and she said that, "Mom, look, my friend got me a Labubu." So I said, "What, a Labubu?" So I thought it was the meme. I thought it was a character from one of the Disney movie, right? So I didn't do any research on it. Um, I know, it's not. It just paid for the materials, and the shipping handling probably about another $12. And what color would you like? I know you can sell for more. I mean, stuff like this. I used to make a lot of Disney characters for sale a few years ago. When my eye was still good, because um but when I crochet too long and that affect my vision, no, affects my immediate vision at the time. So I stopped crochet a lot. But I crochet um I think that the last item that I did was the scarf of beautiful lattice flowers, and that was supposed to be some of the things that I would give away for my followers. So I'm going to do selections and lottery names of people that have been supporting my channels and been great followers, and I'm going to do a few from, well, I'm trying to do from TikTok too, if I don't get my TikTok channel to get back up on. And I just wanted to show that gratitude and appreciations of my fan, because they've been here alongside and cheer me on, just like you and Damaged Kids are doing. CC, you've been here. See, I don't have influx of follower like a lot of channels, because my channel, people don't like cooking channel, uh, because I don't do those crazy cooking channels. I don't cook lizard. I don't have recipe for lizard. I don't have recipe for snake. I don't have recipe for grasshoppers. So people like, they don't like learning how to cook. They just want to see how it's done and how people eating stuff like that. It's just like entertaining, because for me, I just like to okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, let me know what colors. And if want the outfit too. Okay. The outfit is cute. I like the outfit because actually, this is a two-layer, that this was in gray. Um, See that? So it's two layers. So it's a lot of work. I mean, without the outfit, it's pretty simple. When you do the outfit, then time for a little bit feature here. This all time consuming to make them look that cute. And then, yeah, especially this part right there. Look at the shoe, the footwear. It's- My daughter said, "Mom, why don't you make outfit for Labubu?" So, well, I don't have the copyright item thing. I just do this for fun, and in fact, I don't even have pattern for it. That would just come out of my imaginations. I just crochet and turn into shape. And, yeah. Yeah, too late, I mean, yeah, so these are the outfit. See, yeah, so so everything, yeah, so the whole doll and then with the outfit, so this extra work. So just the doll itself, it's no big deal, okay, but the outfit, like I said, this the eyes itself is a little bit challenge, because how you gonna make that cute looking eyes, and then instead of fang, I do teeth, and I put bracelet on it. See, green bracelet. So I mean, just fun, just something fun, something that is lovable, something that kids don't see as threatened, or parent don't feel so threatened, or something that's looking like crazy creature. So instead of the horn, this is symbolically our two ears. Okay, everything have ears, but then the creators think that was, I mean, the material creator thing that was crazy. Yeah, yeah, Labubu shoe right there. See, you see, because like cooking, I'm natural. Crochet is natural for me. So like cooking, you know, all the recipes are in here. I don't have written recipes. Something that I want to cook, I get in the kitchen and I just throw everything in the pot and the pan and stir and have a meal. So I don't sit there and ponder, oh, how much sugar, how much salt, how much meat should I put in there. No, I don't have to do that. If I want something done, then I just get in the kitchen and then I have a nice meal. You know, whether it's holiday meal, whether it's a wedding meals, it depends. When I was in Stockton, I have been asked to help cook for parties. So the pot was like super large, like like you need 3 men to carry it out. So crochet is same thing. Crochet is it come out easily. If I see something that I like, I'll come home and I will make it, just like I'm doing the flower right now. Okay. I don't have I don't have pattern for it, so I have to figure out the nature of the flower um, petals. Okay. So this flower is fun because it only have 3 petals. So I'm gonna put it together, and I wanted to create a bouquet. And so I have about tens of the flowers and crochet the basket for the crochet flowers. That's what I like to do. I like to create, and cooking is one of my passions. And crochet, and I do a little bit of everything that help me stay focusing on myself. I been there and done that with life. So now just time to to enjoy life. And and these help me stay focused. Like here, I don't have pattern for it, and then I know how the petal supposed to look like, and then I just create it. Okay, with this one right here, I will put stems and leaves, and it's gonna go into a little beautiful bouquet. I never done a whole bouquet before, though. I done a lot of flower on stems, like to do like for Valentine's, single rose or double roses, but then I never do the whole bouquet before, and that's gonna be my next project, is to get this bouquet of Cambodian national flowers going. So I thought it would be fun. It would be a little bit challenged because it's going to be a lot of flowers. So each flower has six petals, and then there's inner petals. So there's need 6 of this. So I'll send a picture. You'll see it. Okay. Um, so she is 3 in January, so we will shoot for November, December to get it. Yeah, I mean, Christmas would be good. You know, that'll be great for Christmas. In fact, my grandchildren's already asked me if I can crochet la boo boo for them. Um, my granddaughter, the one that gave me the la boo boo, I have her. Let me show you. So I went to do research on la boo boo. So I learned about strange, because I thought it was the character from the Disney movie. So I went to check on it. There's no Disney movie. So um, oh, here we go. Um, so she gave me my favorite color, which is the green color. So this is the regular Labubu. Okay. So we can make it cute, cuddle like that too, But Labubu the head is bigger than the body. So it'll be fun too if you have regular boo boo and then just make outfit for it. I think it would be fun, because the outfit is more challenged than La Boo Boo itself, and the challenge part was to do the eyes, the nose, and the fangs. So yeah, she had 9 fangs, and nine, nine teeth. The fangs, not teeth. They are fangs, and then they're supposed to be horns. But like I said, everything had ears, and there's no ears, so that's why I interpret this as the ear, not horn. You have to think positive. If you think negative, then crazy stuff come with it. I mean, just it's just common sense, and I don't believe in those stuff anyway. I mean, it does not overcome me. Yeah. Oh, so I'm looking for my yarn. Oh, I yeah. So like I was saying, crocheting and cooking, it come natural. Just like a clothing designer, people who my yarn trap. So clothing designer, they have a feel of what clothes, what model, what mode, and what style, and what to to design clothes. And the same thing for people who crochet. So they constantly um, create pattern every day. A lot of time I don't create pattern. I just go subscribe someone channels, and just like a lot of the scarf that I have, they are some of the patterns are not American pattern. Those are like European patterns, or even some of the sophisticated pattern is in Russian, or in in another language that I don't really understand, but because I understand the concept of of the crochet, and and uh, and I'm an experienced crochet person. So if I see a pattern, if I see instruction, even in another language, but I get the ideas. Same thing here. I figured out um, the the pattern for it. So it's going to be my own pattern because I designed this pattern myself. Yeah, I know I cooking is something that we learn from very very early age, and we shouldn't have to measure it. And the only time that I do measurements when I do cooking for my cooking show. The rest of the time, I don't do measurements, and especially Cambodian cooking. There's no measurement for it. That's why it's so difficult to measure, because each time, because American go by serving, right? Two serving, three serving, and you just do the fractions of whatever the amount of ingredients you're going to use. But in Cambodian, we don't do that. We grandma or grandpa don't teach you how to cook with measurement. You watch them do it, and how much water go into how you cook your rice, undercook, overcook, or anything like that. You just learn it. But American have to be precise, have to be like exact measurement in order for certain cooking to come out. What I learned about some of the recipes, that even they said that this much, that much, but still come out crazy. That's why that's why you don't see me do much cooking from from people cookbook. If I out eating and I saw something that I like, and I come home and I try to figure out what the ingredients are, and then I go right into the kitchen and do that. I know cooking is something that when do cooking, uh, damage cases is what I learned. Okay, first you have to go buy food, spend extra money, and then you have to prepare the food, have to video the cooking show. If live show, I don't care. I don't care live show. I mean, you have to do editing. But if I do pre-recorded show, then I have to do editing. So Stone already taught me how to do editing, use sophisticated editing programs, the editing the movies and the videos. So I'm good at that. So a lot of my cooking video, pre-recorded videos in the past, um, involving me do my own recording, do my own editing, do my own the whole thing, because Stone showed me a couple times and he said, I don't have time for this, so I teach you this. So just like instead of giving me the fish, he said, here, the fishing net, here, the fishing gear, go fish, girl. That's what I did. It was nice of him to teach me the skills, and it wouldn't, I don't know what to do if he has not even taught me, because when launched my first cooking show. He did it for me, and then because I don't know how to edit the show, and he too busy with his music, so I waited like 3 months. And that 3 month time period, I didn't know about YouTube policy, and I didn't have anything um, posts on my channel. So I think all of my followers, no, the follower is not that's not missing, but then the community watch hour is what like depleted over the period of that time. So I lost a lot of community watch hour when I didn't know, and then until I become more active, and he taught me how to do the yeah. And you're fine, damage kids. Do what you need to do, sweetheart. You don't have to be here. But I mean, to be here watching, you can. But that was nice of you to even have me um, left turning on. That was really nice. Nice of you. Yes, yeah, but I was saying that cooking is a lot of work though. It's not like a lot of content creator. They talk about politics. They talk about or bring in community information. They all do just do research and talk about it. But then cooking is different. First, like I was saying, we have to plan the menus and shopping and preparings. And in my case, if I don't do live, then I have to edit the video that fit into. Well, when I first started it, YouTube was very meticulous about how many minutes that we can release under the policy. So it cannot be more than 15 or 19 minutes. So that was a restriction. Then now I don't have the restrictions anymore because I think I have passed the guidelines. So, and then I started to do live cooking show. I was a little adamant. I was a little shy. I wasn't sure because I'm not an outspoken person. Though I used to teach, well, I'm not quite outspoken on social media, but I'm quite outspoken for the communities, and I work with all sort of agency, and I do interpretings, um, on-site interpreting. And after uh, the COVID-19, we started doing virtual interpreting, so I don't have to be at the site to do interpreting. Everything is on Zoom, on audio call, or on audio call most of the time. So then it was a lot easier because then the traveling time was limited. When I used to do on-site interpreting, sometimes I travel mile to go to interpret it for the clients. If I live in Stockton, it is need in San Francisco and Oakland or Fresno, so it's about 2 hour drive. So for the traveling times is to, I mean, it's distant to do that virtual audio call, video calls. So the thing that we learn about this mishap of COVID-19 is that we we learn to become more cyber. We we learn to utilize the network, the internet, and the platforms and the social medias. Before we don't, I remember when I used to fly across the state just to attend a conference. Now it's conference is a group it's group conference. It's done by virtual calls, virtual meeting, virtual conference. So it doesn't have a cost to it. Only for the participant doesn't have to pay anything now. You don't have to fly. Don't have to rent a car. You don't have to pay for the meals anymore. Everything's like done over the it's just tip of the finger. As long we have internet and computer or even phone, then it's done right there and right then. So it's more efficient, and we got smarter, through through the mishap that we gone through. And so with that experience, we learned that for real. Before it wasn't like that. Before it was like we have to travel, we have to reach certain miles to attend conference, to attend certain event. So this time it's not like that. Even working with the government, interpreting, and because I do a lot of governmental applications and uh, for clients. So now everything is online. Before you have to go to the office and do that. And now it's just matter of phone call. You can do that efficiently. So there was, so we moved from one mishap to a great half of that. That was good. That we 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 do whatever make we do whatever that make it work. So we make that work. So we have that. We had that system in place. That was really nice. So with me, when I do the cooking show, I wasn't no, my face is I have because my family has freckles, so I do have freckles. you know I do have freckles. And yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm just happy the fact that at my age, that I'm able to like still have all my good teeth and still have that maintain that youthful look, because it's because I came from longevity. Both side of my grandparents, they lived a long time. My my paternal grandparents lived beyond hundreds. My great aunts who live in Long Beach, California, just passed away a few years ago, and she was 106. So if I do well, I'm in my mid 60s now and still looking well. If I do take from my mom's side, they live to be about 80, 90, but on my dad's side, people live a long time, and we have freckles. So I think I inherit that from my dad's side of family. So on my dad's side family, the people who live like no time. There's no end of time. So I think I'm lucky. Even in my family, my sister, my younger sister, also say, they, yeah, yeah, freckle are cute. I have some aging spot. I'm not worried about it, and I don't use expensive facial creams or anti wrinkle and things like that. Um they were saying that looking looking youthful, looking radiant, looking young is not because what the facial creams or anti-wrinkle or anti-aging cream that you apply on. They believe that it radiated from inside of a person. Okay. And if a person who live their life in harmony with nature, okay, happy individual, person that um, are generous, people who are oh, we call it a charitable person. And they said that by being that type of person, um, it's it's the energy that's given, the energy that was blessed with, is that we that person is not worried about getting old, not worried about how much money to make the person happy, because um, as we learn that people who have a lot of money don't have happiness. So I resolute is that money is not the cost of happiness. Money does help pay rent, pay for food, pay for the car, pay for the bills, pay for the vacation, but it does not pay people to live longer, because people who have a lot of money, they do crazy things with the money too. But if you use the money in a way that would bring charitable, bring humanitarian, bring philanthropies, because this is what I view about life, is that let's put that our lives are good for 100 years. Okay, if lucky you live to be 100. I'm shooting for 120, like my grandma. She my grandma died at 125. You know, she didn't just die. She was still walking and live with family, live my great aunt. And one day she walked to the bathroom, and the bathroom was slippery, and she fell and she broke her hips, and she died from infection a month later. Not like she yeah. So my my grandpa also, I think he passed when he was about 118. So then these people, how they live so long, it have to do with how they take care of themselves, or have to do with the diet that they consume, because in the day everything was natural. There was no there was no oh in the day where I came from, there was no byproduct food. Okay, everything have to come from earth. Fish daily, and vegetable are being grown, being consumed fresh from the farms, and it's grown organically. So here when they said organic grown, the price is like 3 times as much, and you still wonder if it really is organic. Okay. So though it makes it sound like organic, okay, this is what organic to me. Okay, organic would the leaf of any kind of vegetable, any kind of fruit will have worms in it. Okay, because worm would taste all those fruit before it get to your mouth. Because if anything they had no worm in it, believe me, not organic. Okay, though they may say it is, it's not, unless it's being grown in like confinements where there's no caterpillars, there's no any kind of insects can get into the dormitories, and everything is sealed from the outside world, and that can be organic. But if you're grown in the freelance, in the farms, and said, oh, it's organic grown, there's no worm bite, and like that. No, 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 no. Organic had worm bites. I have stuff here in the backyard that I don't use pesticides, and then the next morning I'll see that my pepper plants are gone, my mint, my spearmint leaves are gone, being eaten by worms or insects and caterpillars. So that's how I know. But for us, the way that the world learn about food product is that if it's not perfect, then it's not good and not healthy. I mean, people have to see like perfection of the apple. Have to feed the eye, because the eye will like the window to knowledge. But then do you have enough knowledge to learn that apple that you holding in your hands, whether it's suffice for the worm to take a bite into it? If the worm said, I'm not crazy, I'm not eating that thing, but human will do, because human love that the perfection, the beauty of the fruits or vegetables that are being perfect, just like humans always have issue about having a perfect shape of nose, a perfect shape of skin. We never complacent of our own individual. Lucky if you're born with all the beauty. And what I learned about my Cambodian people is that they don't cherish their own, what do you call it, their own skins or their own nationality. Let me put it. They view that light skin, light complexions is a sign of beauty, a sign of high class society, because a lot of um, Cambodian ladies will go and bleach their skin and make it look like China doll, the complexions. I see that in Thailand. I see that in Vietnam. People spend hundreds of $1,000s, fixing their nose, this and that. Okay, but and that because we don't accept our own standard of beauties, or what do you call it, beauties, yeah. So we're always looking at what Hollywood portray. You have to have that perfect bottom, full hair, and what have you. It's almost like we're not happy of who we are. We have to be someone else. you know I use in my skin. See, CC, I'm not an expensive person. Okay, so what I use for my skin daily. Okay, in the morning, I have a pot of aloe vera, the real plants. So I grow them in the front yard. I have a big pot like this. So that's what I do. I use the aloe vera to in the morning. I apply before I put sunscreen on. I don't really like sunscreen. I used to do sunscreen, but then I just learned what's in sunscreen. If it's natural sunscreen, there's no such thing as natural, believe me. So I use a lot of coconut oil. Okay, um, make sure that it's pure coconut oil because you can read the label before you bring a product home. If you see some chemical names that you can't read, you can't pronounce, then if it says coconut milk or coconut oil, it should say coconut oil, nothing else. If they said coconut oil, is when some other things and they add some other things in it. So a coconut oil is very simple. Maybe that's what I should do to show you how to make homemade coconut oil. It's very simple. I think damaged kids should know how to make like damaged kids. All this home home remedies, right? So coconut oil is very simple. So that's what I use. Okay, so on my on my lazy day, I just use we call it uh, the petroleum. Well, I mean, believe it or not, I don't resolute with all the expensive stuff from the beauty store. I uh, I don't endorse them because first of all, it was a waste of time with all the anti-wrinkle, all those retinols, all that. I don't know even work. So I turn around and look option, and yeah, just the trick to the skin, to the beautiful skin, is that you care for it at nighttime. Okay, at nighttime when you got home from work, you got your food in the system, you got tired, you just go to bed with your old makeup on. You don't remove your makeup. You don't, and that's a no, no, no. So if you feel tired, okay, don't go to bed. Go to the bathroom first, brush your teeth, remove the makeup, applied a new whatever cream you use. If you're consistent with it, you should be fine. Okay? I'm not gonna lie, I use oil lay for all years. Since I came to America, oil lay is always in my medicine cupboard, and I use those. And now I added the fresh plant from aloe. But aloe is edible, so you can consume it when you have a lot, and then you just peel it, and then just scoop it and squeeze it and apply it on, and just leave it on, because on the aloe, it does not, the aloe will dry it out. Okay, so when you apply aloe, you have to use either the coconut oils or um, the petroleum oil. Okay, so people said, "Oh, petroleum is not good." Blah blah blah. Always find a way to find something wrong with it. But then you have to read the label, which one is safe for you, and that's what I do, honestly, and that's what I have. Yeah, I I don't even for the soap. Okay, for the soap, as you know, that don't do the chemical peel, because the chemical peel is not really safe, because if you do chemical peel, then you cannot be exposed to sunlight, or eating hot food, or even cooking in on the stove with the heat. The heat will cause the pigment, the skin pigment. So I stay away from any kind of chemical peel. Okay, because chemical peel, the word chemical is not something that you're not going to play with, right? So I don't use any of that. So what I do is I just use regular skin lightening, or for example, some of the natural skin lightenings can be from kiwi, from ripened papaya. Those are natural remedies for the skin lightening. But for me, because I had natural tans, okay, so I don't need to be in the sunlight, and I don't have to apply a lot of makeup because I already have that natural tan. So all I do is just a little bit of powders and a little bit of foundation, a little bit of powder. You can still see that I have my blotches and my freckles. So it's clearly it's visible. So if I cake my face, you won't be able to see any of that. So I don't use a lot of makeup, but I do a little color just to 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 so that I don't look like a it's just refreshing look. I mean, but I don't look good on heavy makeup though. When I was on that show with Tammy Roman, and they have their own makeup crew, and I have to tell them that um it was too much. But then they said, oh, well, with that, they said they know what they're doing. So when on the camera, of the camera looks good, but then when I took selfie of the makeup, it's like it's scary because I'm not used to all that heavy makeup. Um, yeah, so yeah, but then it looked okay though. I mean, on the show, you see the show that it looks good. You didn't see all that bad makeup, and in fact, I told her, don't put too much makeup on me. Don't try to cake my face or bake my face. So couple years ago, my daughter has a wedding. It was in July, and they took me to the hotel where the dresser and the makeup team were there, and I was the last one that they do makeup on. There was no mirror. There's no big mirror. So this guy was like, well, he's yeah, he's transgender. So I learned now on that transgender, how they exaggerated with the archy eyebrow, because I didn't have the mirror on it. So he was like, spend a lot of time doing the eyebrows, saying, well, there's a lot of time doing the eyebrows. I thought it was going to turn out really, really nice. So then my daughter said, Mom, we gotta go, we people attending the wedding, they're here, we got to be there, to receive the guests and all that. So then I jumped in the car with them, and I didn't even look in the mirror. So when I went inside the car, and I looked in the car mirror, and said, "What the fuck?" So I was like, oh, like I mean, it was like the eyebrow was like, ooh, just like the bridge of London Bridge. I'm like, and then the makeup was too much, and yeah, I didn't look good. I thought I looked like corpse. A lot of people agree with me, and I didn't have time to remove it. I didn't bring my makeup kit, so I took some image of the evening, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm trying to brush it off, but then they have that like that, they have the kind of makeup that like will stay throughout the night. So I'm like, dang, like the first next time when they try to do makeup on me, I'll make sure that I have a big mirror. My three of my daughter, they're beauticians, so they do makeup. So they know that when they do makeup for me, if they bake my face, I wash it off and I do it over, so they know that they're not messing around my face. They know that I like natural look. So yeah. So one time she did really like bake my face, and there was a wedding, and when I saw the picture of it, I'm like, I don't know, I like that. No, Mom, she's trying to make it look like, no, you look good, Mom. No, 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 you look good. I said, no, because you're not used to it, just like something new, that transformation, it's like a different person when all that trick of makeup, it changed the personality of a person, of the face personality. And I wasn't used to that, all that falsy, and I'm not used to have falsy. So it's like, I pull it off because I have my own lashes. So, I'm used to have mascara, just apply mascara on and remove it at night. That's it, But falsy, I don't know how to use falsy. I don't know how to do the wing, so I'm just doing regular makeup that I know how. Um, um, my let me tell Stone what happened. My TikTok, my on computer. He's still gonna be mad when he found out that my TikTok got flagged. We're talking about Cambodian, that's what happened. Talking about Cambodia. Can't believe that happened to me. That's annoying. And so yeah, that's about me. I mean, I'm very simple. CC damage kids. I think too simple. Sometimes people don't look at you like, they underestimate your abilities. Yeah, yeah. So, but I like being simple. I think simple make a person more beautiful because you don't have to worry about how to dress to impress, how the makeup to impress. You're just being yourself and be assertive, be confident, and loving yourself is like a great blessing. I don't care how much money you have. You loving you is something that you have to grant it to yourself. You can love your grandparent, love your kid, love your husband, love your spouse. If you're forgetting to love yourself, that's a big no-no. The policy for me is that I love people, I love the sweetheart, I love the family, but importantly, I learned to love myself more now. Before, when I look at myself, I was a broke person too, a broken person, because going through all that marriage and all the abuse, it take years for me to rebuild my own life, and have 6 children to take care of, and working too many jobs and have to worry about the getting wrinkles. I think that was one of the things that to remain usefulness is not to worry about the wrinkles, not to worry about aging, because we're so busy trying to take care of everybody else, and you're not focusing on your own image. I think that's what happened to me. I mean, now my kid they don't want to go places with me, because we went to some places, and then because I have three, four beautiful daughters, and they're catching up with me now. So we go places, and people will say, "Oh, bring your sister in." And my older daughter used to get so adamant about she is my mom. So yeah, they're catching up. I mean, they said, "Well, when are you gonna get old?" I said, "Well, I'm gonna stay as young as the Lord will sustain me." So yeah, the basic essential for the skin is to because I don't smoke, I don't drink, and they said that the most effective remedy is the sleep. Okay, the sleep is something that I deprived from a lot too, because sometimes I find myself to go to sleep after midnight, and if you have to get up early, then plan the meal 4 hours before bedtime, so that way you don't go to sleep with your stomach fulls. And because when we do sleep, and our body have to work overtime to digest food, to process food. So every time when we exhaust our systems, we drain our own energy. It would drain we age, put it that way. Okay, so if you're focusing on someone else, helping someone else, I'm not saying that go and volunteer all your life. No, do what you need to do. Start with your own family. Okay? And if you have your family with you, and that family are loving you, and you do a great job, and then you can work toward the community. That's what I do. I mean, I work with the communities, with the languages that I'm good at. I'm using it to good cause, to work in the communities where I'm where I do help the communities or whatever they need. So that's what I've been doing, and my kids are grown now. I'm a grandmother of seven. My firstborn grandchildren, a set of twins, will be 18 in a couple months. So yeah, so that tell history. I'm not a young chicken. So yeah, so it's just the attitude and how we see things, and um, that we don't focusing on ourselves too much. If we're focusing, make sure that you're focusing in a night treatment where you drink proper enough liquid uh, to uh, to nourish our skin, to nourish our blood, to nourish our uh, what do you call it? Oxygen, because we need that. And don't be in the sun too long, okay? Because American, I see that they do bare top so they can get suntan. If you go in the morning when the sun are beautiful, when the ray of the sun's uh, conformity in that it's just blissful. Don't go in the sun when it's 180 degree or 110 degree when you get sunburn, because sun can do a lot of damaging, especially your face. Because the first thing people notice is your face. They don't notice your arms, your leg. They notice your face. Um, so wear hat, because American like to get tan because they just like the Cambodian like to have that beautiful white complexions. The American does the opposite. They want that beautiful tan. So if you just love yourself, if you do tan, then do it the right way. Don't go lay under sun for days, for hours just to get suntan. Just cover yourself when it's too hot. If you want to get tan, then go into the right time. And I think white complexion is beautiful. When I first came to America, I was fascinated with the white complexion. I came from a rural area, and my dad is a farmer, so I was born on a farm. I was a lot browner in the day. Now in America, I got whiter because I don't know. When I returned home, people said, "Oh, you look American." They can tell because their complexion and my complexion is not comparable. Because um, l- look at a 60-year-old in Cambodia with toothless, and with I mean they just an old woman, the woman that like ready to kick the bucket, and then it's night and day. Even my family, all my cousin who was like 5, 10 years younger than I am, they called me little sister. No, 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 no. I was born before you. You were born years after the war. So some of them I don't even know who they were because they were born in the time that I have left the country. So they be calling me young sister. No. So then I tell them that how old I was. Oh, so you older than my mom? That yes, I'm older than your mom. So go correct yourself. Don't be calling me young lady. Don't call me little sister. No, I'm not your mom, little sister. I'm your mom, big cousin. So they're like, oh my goodness, how you do that? So then I have to go through like how you treat your skin. Because in Cambodia, people will use the skin lightener, and then that in that in that harsh environment, um, and and the humidities, it doesn't go well with the skin lightening because if you use skin lightening, then you have to be indoor, have to be in the air conditioning where you're not exposed to harsh element, and then you maintain that that porcelain look. For me, when I went over there and it was dehydrated 24/7, and let I know like, oh my god, I got 10 years older. Why? Because then it doesn't matter how much liquid I intake, I deplete it with the sweat. And even I'm sitting talking to them, like I sweat profusely. I said, what's wrong with you? Because they acclimated to their weather, so they're not sweating like me. I'm the only one that's sweating, right? And then they don't have air conditioning over there. My family are not city developers, so they live in the old homes that the parent left them. So there's no air conditioning. They use fan, and like 10 fan and still don't even cool down. So that the amount of time I was in Cambodia, I didn't enjoy it too much because the heat was really, really bad. You think the Las Vegas heat? Okay, I'm acclimated to Las Vegas heat. I don't sweat. But when I went to Cambodia, it was as hot, but I sweat because I think the humidity was really striking me. And I remember that when I attend event, I had this beautiful silk dress that I custom made, tailor made, and then it was expensive dress, it's silk outfit. So then I like sweat all over, and like I bought 3, 4 outfit. Each outfit I stained it all, and people looking at me like, "Did you just didn't you just shower?" I said, "I did." As soon as I got out of shower, I sweat. I do wear jacket, you know. I do. People said, "Oh, it's 100 degree. Why do you wear jacket?" You know, because jacket does protect the skin. You know, I mean, if you look at how Arabian people who live in the Middle Eastern, you know, they cover themselves from head to toe, especially the woman. You know, you only see their beautiful eyes. You know, they can't show the hair, they can't show any part of their body. So inside of that gown is a beautiful skin. You know, it's like baby soft skin. You know, because it's not out in a harsh element. But though they deplete themselves of a lot of nutrient like vitamin D's and vitamin D, huh? With the exposure to sun, and then and then they susceptible to to skin disease. But then you see that men wear long white gown, they protect themselves too. But American be the opposite. American like to take everything off, just like a little, you know, cover the nipples and out in the sun, you know, that's it. And then you wonder why you see the skin crack, it got burned, all kind of blotches, you know. Believe it. And that because it's come out from own negligence. We think that all the sun bring beauty, you know. It's like that, you know, the sun. Yeah, you all you know about the sun ain't bring beauty, you know, sun damage the beauty. So get that. Make sense, you know. So yeah, so I'm natural blonde. No, I'm sorry, natural um brown, not blonde. So I'm brunette. So I love beautiful white skin. When I came to America first time, I was fascinated with those beautiful hair. You know, I never seen that before. Living in Cambodia, I never seen a Frenchman. Though there's a Frenchman I heard that live in the because Cambodia was colonized by French for 100 years, but I wasn't born enough to like. mm, so I wasn't born enough to even meet a Frenchman. But when I was in a refugee camp, there was a lot of rescue worker, volunteer worker through UNs and through through Red Cross. So I gotten to see some Frenchmen and white folk, you know. So I always fascinated. I'm like daydreaming. Oh man, how did they have this beautiful white complexion? I'm a weather beat blonde skin, and I'm like, I want to have those beautiful skin. I look at the eyes, you know. So I was fascinated with it. So I'm still fascinating with, you know. So now I learned that what I have is like a blessing, and all the American, all the white folk want to have that skin tone, you know. Now I'm getting more than just I got acclimated. I'm thinking um yeah, I inherit the white culture, so I become a little bit whiter. So that's why when I go to Cambodia, people say, "Oh, you got white," you know. I mean, yeah, because for some reason, in our regions, it does promote that white skin look-alike. I don't know whether the sun, whether the food, whether I don't know what we do over here, but it does change. It changed the look. When I went to Cambodia, even I tried to dress down to sarong, look like farm girl. People still say, "Oh, you look cute, but I know you're not from here." You know, it's so funny because I went to Cambodia and my family. I used to wear sarong, you know, that cloth that just wrap around. If you know what sarong is, so it was too hot to wear denim, so I went down with sarongs and with the belt, and I'm just walking around, and I'll go to the market with it. But I didn't know that my cousin don't like the sarong because the sarong signify people who who are in the low class. Mhm. Oh, Texas! I know Texas is hot. I've been to the east part of Texas, like very top of Texas, where close to Kansas, I think. Um, my ex was he went to apply for driving a trucking job. Can't remember the city, but it was like way on the top of that little. that little U, upside down U area. Mm. It was hot, yeah, but then it had beautiful though, and like the ray of sun rising in the morning. We were driving on the road, all of a sudden you see the sun just pop out of nowhere and turn everything into golden um, telescope color. It was beautiful. Yeah, I have members, family members from my ex side of family, my former spouse in Dallas, in Houston. So a whole bunch of them live in that area. Yeah, but I haven't been to Houston or Dallas, but I've been to like that top part of Texas with that upside down U. Way up there. Can't remember the little town, a little quiet town. Um, while we were driving, noticed that there were oil fields and the tumbleweed. And it was like serious a dusty wind. Yeah, yeah. So that's our beauty secret. Damage Kiss and CC. It wasn't anything that I got from the malls. It was anything that I got from the the youth of the fountain of youth and things like that. It's just like consistency of taking care of your skin, especially at night. Because at nighttime we sleep for 8 hours. We don't drink, so at that time our body dehydrated. So when we do use um, the gel or any kind of natural remedy, natural applications, it help keep our skin hydrated. So drink a lot of, it's just like Saturday in the daytime, we drink a lot of water also. But when we sleep, um, we we into that fasting hours, either for 6 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. We are in that, and in that time where we don't eat, we don't drink, so we sleep. Okay, but then our cell need that water to help repair. If you're ill, if you're sick, if you have abrasion, you have cut. This is the time where our body rejuvenate, our body heal itself, physically, mentally. So, and that's why during the daytime we have to hydrate really, really well. So refrain from alcohol. If necessary, drink moderately. When I said moderately, drink when you have social gathering. Don't make a habit of going to the party every weekend because you want to drink, because you say, well, when I said drink moderately, drink when you go to the party. Well, I like drinking, so I'm gonna go party every weekend. Okay, not like that. Okay, just make exception. Okay, don't take care of yourself, because you only got one life to live, and say, well, I got one life to live. I will live to the fullest. Well, tell me how you live your fullest. Well, meaning that I eat what I want to eat, I drink what I want to drink, I sleep with who I want to sleep with. No, that's all wrong. You got it all wrong. You got one life to live, then live it in the way that you're gonna live a long time. And to live a long time, you're gonna have to do something more than just eat and sleep. You know, you got to create those energy where you radiate it by serving, loving, and do other stuff. Not because you're born with your beauty, and 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 you don't take care of yourself, then that beauty will leave you, and all the wrinkle will replace you. So I'm just saying, I don't use expensive product. I couldn't afford it, first of all. and, and when I buy those product and I can't read the name of the chemical they put in the bottles, and so I wonder what it stands for. I mean, all the chemicals, what you call it, those chemical names on the label. If it's more than 50, then like, dang, one night cream, and supposed to be like good and useful look, and you have to deal with like 50 of chemical to add on there. I wonder, what the side effect is. But I have a lot of allergy too. If I use something crazy, I can get itching and breaking out and hive, and yeah. So I stick with what I'm used to is aloe vera plant. I grow them inexpensive, $0. Okay, and then the petroleum. $3 the most. You get a big bottle like that. So use on your skin to make sure that your skin is hydrated when you do that. Make sure you just step out of waters. If it's not going to apply to your skin. Spend some time, just lather in some massage yourself. Spend some time on it. Don't spend so much time online and scroll through hundred and thousand pages of people contents. Just to get a feel of what's going on per day. That's what I did sometime too. I'm like getting tired, so I focusing more on the spiritual side also. The intellect. So I read a lot. I have a whole bunch of books with me by my bedside. If I don't study a verses or a page of the scriptures, then I read book. And sometimes I read from my phone also. So we do whatever we can do to distract our problems. I'll put it that way, especially when we are bombarding with all kind of problems and family problem, financial problem at work, problem with neighbor, problem with the law, problem with how how do we deal with that? Okay. So first of all, if your health is not okay, you won't be able to take care of anything, believe me. So it start with your good health first, because it go into the circle. Health related to mental health, emotional health, financial health, physical health. So it go into that little circle. Okay. If your health is not okay, then it's gonna start affect your finance. If your finance is not okay, it's gonna start affect your physical. I mean your mental. If your mental is not okay, now you cannot deal with the financial loss, the physical loss, and now you go into a big cycle of drama. Deal with the health, the loss of the incomes. Sometimes you lost spouse and kids and homes and job. So then losing job is it's just a lined up of other things that will go down slope also. That's why health is important. I don't care if I don't have $1 million. I'm still gonna be okay with that. So just learning to be self-sufficient and be complacency what you have. If you have 1,000, then be happy with 1,000 and stretch it. Don't try to go spend 1,000 in one day. Then the rest of the 30 days, what you can do with it? If a month in 31 days and you got one day taken care, you still have 30 days. How are you going to cover that? So stretch it 1,000. Pay your rent. If you can afford to pay the rent, then find somewhere where you can share the rent. If the family members are welcome, then move in. That's what I did. I moved into my daughter. I pay my share. I work from home. I help with the kids. I cook. I clean. I do everything that no one have asked me to do. I do the extra all the time. I don't have to be asked, hey, mom, you need to scrub toilet. No, I done that without being asked. Cook. You don't have to tell me to cook. Keep the place clean. You don't have to. I go above and beyond and do that, because when you love somebody, you love something, you take care of it. If you love your kid, then you help out and say, well, I don't take care of my kid. I don't want to take care of my grandkid. I don't want to help my kid no more. Okay, it's fine. It's personal belief. It's personal preferences. For me, I'm a family-oriented person. I like to be around family. It may not peach and cream, may not be cream and peaches all the time. Hey, thing will turn out okay. So I always believe it that way. There's certain thing that we cannot fix. I just know that the person about he always give you something that you have the challenge, something that you have to deal with. If you graduate with one level, then he like kind of increase it a little bit, just like in educational system. You start with kindergarten, you start with preschool, kindergarten, and then you start with elementary school, middle school, high school, college, and university. I think sometimes about test you at that level. You first you graduate from first grade, second grade, and then each time seem like your issue is getting bigger, stronger, longer. I'm like, how long are you gonna do that? I mean, come on now. I got this already. Don't keep giving me all this stuff. Give me some happiness, something that I um, Purple. Thank you. What is that thing? the, the crown and number one. What does that mean? Damage case. Purple crochet. You like the BDs, or you like the boo boo in purple? I have. Remember, I did this. So I did the headbands, right? So the last one I did was this here, the purple headband here. I think I have it on here already. I did not use this because I meant it to give away to my followers, so it's still fresh. So I have two shade of purple. Okay, so I have light purple and the darker purple here because this the headbands. I only put it on to try it out. Other than that, um, I keep this safe. So when I do select names of person that I want to send home to, it'll be a great gift for head cover or headbands. I have a lot, so you see that I use in my cooking show. So this the purple one I don't use because that's something that I'm gonna give away. But these are my own headbands here. So I have different floral design, roses and more roses, and some other Cambodian flowers that I'm doing right now. And roses are easy to make. So these are the flower that I'm making today. And yeah, so I use headband during my cooking show just to keep my hair out of the way. And because in the culinary school we do the chef hat. The chef hat look very funny, like tall and like in a way. Now, why don't you just use bandana? That's what I do. I use bandana for my for my cooking. So and I use my own band too for the cooking. So yeah. So I cover my hair when I wear hat. When you sweat, then this will be the filtration for the hat. So that's why you see when I wear hat, I use that as the seal, because over time when you sweat, the hat will start smelling like sweat. So this will, and then the hat was a little bit too big. So with the band, um, with the cover, it fit really really well. Yeah. So that's what I do. I collect about 10 hats. I brought some from Cambodia. It was really really cute. Yeah. I know, right? We have short person with a tall hat, and I never understood. I mean, I think now they modified chef hat into like a short version of it. It's just like, but then in Japan, the chef don't have that tall hat. They have that like a little, almost like a bandana shape. It's a little to cover. And now I see some food, some fast food restaurant or even fine dining say the chef food that has beard and don't have to wear the cover for it, the nest for the beard. Kind of strange. But then yeah, to prevent from hair falling onto the food. Um, Sometimes Stone can be so adamant because how the food server can be so uneducated. When they bring you food or water, they like to talk over your food. Sometimes we just send it back. He never liked that when people bring the food. They're supposed to learn how to to treat or how to serve people with etiquette, where you bring the food, hand extended, okay, like proximity, where you don't talk over people's food or customer food. You hand them the food, you set it down, you step back a few step back and talk. Notice that, hello, this is your dish. Hello, is this your drink? And that's irritating. I mean, people can get sick and and um, and if they have diseases like communicable disease, they that will get transferred so quick. And sometimes as food reviewers, I make suggestion that can you please train your food server, don't talk over my food or drink. I have an issue with that because when you talk, you'll spit your saliva on my food and drink, though you don't see it, but it's there. Just like you flush the toilet, you don't see the water, you know, sprout out. But if you use microscope and you see that it does, that's why when you flush the toilet, close the lid. It's like, well, if you close the lid, it can stain the lid. So basically, that's what the lids are for. You just clean it. And sometimes people always have something to say, that was something crazy to say, like always, like it sounds good, but it doesn't sound good, sound like dumb. But anyway, I do, I mean, food handle 101. Just my son, he worked at the uh, at the supermarket. He have to attend class at a local health district for a day to get his certificate on how to handle food. He's not even handle food, but he um he work with the loading reshelving. You still have to pass the food serving, how to handle food safe safely training. I don't know what those people, the waiter invaders, even gotten proper how to handle food training, safety training or not. Because the way they do, I don't think they even gotten any kind of training, because they don't even know how to serve food. Especially, when you freaking with your being clean and don't trust how people handle your food, and especially, did you notice that? Okay, start noticing it. Okay, if you have waiter and waiters, bring your plate, bring your bowl. This is what they do. Is this your food? Hand it over and put it on the table. Is this your drink? Don't do that. Say, so this is your drink. It's like the proximity. It was be like a hand length, and you can talk. That would be proper way of handling food. But no, they come over and they lean over. Is this your food? Said, no, take it back. That's your food. You talk over it. It sound mean, but this time that I have to do that, whether they cook a new one or not. So if I don't think they're going to cook me a new one, then I don't eat. I pay for it and I walk out. Because I'm sick and tired of people who treating customer like like they have to talk over your food. Like, I'm not your boyfriend, so I'm not kissing you, nor I want your saliva on my food. It's that attitude. So yeah, exactly. Serving food 101 exactly. Anyway, so well, I'm here long enough. So let me know, damaged kids. What would you like, sweetheart? Do you want beanies? You want scarf, or you want the lovely doll? Well, let me know what you like. You beanie? You want the beanie? Oh, purple crochet. Yeah. Well, let me know if you would like one, and Cece is supposed to get back with me what color preference for your grandkids, right? I have a lot of yarns. I'm next to art and craft store too. Yeah, I think the whole closet is full of it. Last year I make a lot of no. Last year I made one king size bed cover for somebody from California. So I charged them a good price. Not too bad, I mean. But making the blanket was a lot easier than making this. Okay, I mean, with the amount of time that I invest on this, I almost got the king size blanket halfway done. Let's put it that way. this little feature here, is it hey, because I didn't have the reason was it was longer time, because I have to figure out the pattern, because I don't have pattern for it. So I have to create pattern for every, well, beanie that I know, but to make small beanie, then I have to do the fractions of the count, because when I do beanie for human, it's different count. When you do this baby beanie here, then I have to use the right number. And this little bit here was not too bad. The clothing that was like a very basic, but it's just a lot of time consuming. But it's fun though, you know, it's fun when when the um when the bunion came out. I have fun creating crochet all kind of bunion. The guy with the glasses, the guy with the little hair, you know, and then I make beanies. A lot of beanie ordered. I got tired of making bunions, and then I got tired of making the mohawk beanies and the beanie with the Viking horns. I mean, name it. I used to make it for sale, you know. I got so tired of it because they uh, whatever they want, they just tell me what they want. Then I have to create um I have to create the pattern for it. Yeah, and I got tired of doing that. And Stone said, "Well, why don't you do your mama, papa shop and do your own crochet? You know how much work that is? That's a lot of work." And then people say, "Oh, these are so expensive." You know, they don't know that, you know, the yarn is not the cost of the price, okay? It's the hours and the labor they put into it. Okay. If you work at Walmart at at $11 per hours, and if this thing take 2 days, 3 days, and you'll be making $20, how many cents per hour is that? You know, so people don't appreciate stuff like that. That's why I said I quit. But I did one fundraising for my adopted daughter. She has her dancing her dancing troupe. She her and she taught the Cambodian um, the Cambodian classic dance. So she need money to buy outfits and outfits. So to do that, I can always give her the money, but then I went and do the fundraising for her, and she sh- uh, she she got people to order all kind of product, you know, like at the end of the career I make probably 300 beanies, scarf, and whatever they want. So all the sale will go, the proceed will go to her dance troops and buy the whatever the uniforms, the headpieces, and the transportation costs and all that. And for a few years, I said, I'm tired. I don't want to crochet anymore. You know, let's do find other way to do fundraising. I mean, it's efficient because the yarn is not the cost. But then some of these yarn are expensive though. Some of the yarn is like $19 per spool, like the hand tie dye. You know, the wool, they're expensive. But if you get like like this spool right here made from cotton is like $3 per spool or $4 per spool, you know, and you need a whole bunch of this to make a blanket. But yeah, so people don't see the work, and they see like, well, it's cute, but then yeah, that's too much, you know. Well, make it $10. No, if you want $10 product, then order from China that make from the machine. I don't care. That's why I quit crocheting for a while, and then when I stopped crocheting, and I forgot some of the most beautiful um, patterns. And because I didn't record it myself doing that, so I've forgotten how. And I remember about 10, 15, even 30 patterns, you know, that I still remember. But then I lost so many patterns. I can't even remember how to do it because some of the patterns are tricky and sophisticated, and it was intricate, very sophisticated patterns, and I didn't write it down. I have crochet book somewhere on the top of my library. I'm gonna go look for it. Yeah, but anyway, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, it is. You know, believe me or not, damaged kids, whether it's cooking, whether any project, it does need work, just like anything else. Even you sew your clothes, you still work. You know, still you still have to measure. You still use the pattern. You have to trace it. You have to measure it, and you have to um to side it, and you have to sew it together, and you have to iron, then you have to make buttonhole, you have to install the zipper, you know. Nothing is easy, believe me. Anything that we wear here, you think that it's nothing, it is something. It's even the small they are, the more difficult work. That's why a lot of baby shoe, you know, the little baby shoe, it costs as much as adult shoe. It's like, oh, this little tiny thing, you know, that little tiny thing is a lot of work. Same thing as the big thing, you know, and then you have the tiny thing, it doesn't fit in a sewing machine, and you have to do hand sew. People don't recognize that kind of work, you know. I mean, you have to to do what I do, and then and crocheting. It's You have to have great love for crochet. You have to have great love for cooking. I don't want you. Well, I don't cook. I just eat out all the time. Yeah, it's true. But the amount that you eat out, if you the two people, so you spend about $80. That's like a good meal. It's not like fine dine. Okay, good meal, and then you take that $80 to buy grocery store that can feed the whole family for 2 days. It just, I mean, it's not being miser. You're not being what you call it, being frugal. It is frugal, I mean, because I manage the money. I have to stretch because I have to feed 6 children out of my own paycheck. So I didn't get any child support. I didn't get any government support. So I have to stretch everything. So I learned how to manage. So I learned how to make home meals that with the money that we have. So that's why managing family finance, managing family life is something that I learned firsthand. We didn't learn that from college. I went to college too, but they didn't teach that. They teach life skill, they teach cooking class, they teach life science, they teach computer science and all that, but they don't teach how to control, how to raise your kid. That you have to go to parenting school for that. Parenting class for that. But other than that, I think a lot of us just just out of common sense, just lack of the traditions that we being brought up with. If we stick with some of the common sense and the tradition that our parents taught us, and yeah, I sew too. Stone got me sewing machine, so I fix his pants, put zipper, and make him look cool and all that. Yeah, I do that too. He loved that little extra. He make clothes too. He make outfits and a beautiful outfit, for himself and for friends. But lately, if anything that he like to alternate his outfit, then I do it for him. Have him focusing on more important thing, you know. But yeah, I used to sew too. Now that um, now you can't even get the patterns anymore. I thought Walmart still have patterns, but is it McCullough's patterns? Yeah, they don't have like a whole lot of selections anymore. So that's almost go extinct, huh? Because people don't want to sew anymore. I remember, yeah, homemade outfit was beautiful. In the day. I love the house on the prairie outfit, with a little bonnet. It was so cute, and the girl outfit was so cute. But now people don't want to wear the kind of stuff. The bell bottom is back, and a lot of clothing style coming back in the circle. I mean, it never leave the market. It might be gone for a few years, and you see it resurfacing. It see remarketing. You know, I see a lot of fashion show. It don't make sense anymore. It's so ugly. I don't know how people even design stuff like that. It's not even real. It looks stupid. But oh, I remember, right? If you have function, you get a new dress made. If you attend prom, you get a new made dress, a new dress made. I remember that too. When in Stockton, I have my own seamstress, especially the Cambodian outfit. That make from silk and have to handle by professional who know how to handle commercial or expensive silk. And I remember when I was, I have cooking. I not only have cooking class, I have sewing class also in high school. So with that tiny skill, because at the time, my dad didn't want me to have sewing class. He said that no no seamstress making money, but he didn't know that some of the famous seamstress make the most money. I mean, the clothing design, they may not be sewing it, but designing it, and then you create network and have your closing line. My dad thought I was being a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, and then those things will bring the most money. My dad thought about long future goals, and then he didn't think that seamstress will it's a future. So sorry. I remember when I can't even get $1 out of my dad, so I can buy material to sew in my class. So I used to ask my dad, please, can I have $10 so I can buy some yards of material? Those days, the yard of material like 50 cents for yards. If you get $10, you get plenty. But my dad knew, and then I um, end up failing the sewing class because my dad didn't help me with, and then luckily there's some friend visit from someone that I knew from camp. Finally reconnect with her. She came and visit, and I don't even know what those people now. Um, she came, and I speak some English now. I was telling her that I need some money to go buy material for my sewing class. So she took me to Walmart at the time, and she bought all kind of material for me, so I don't have to ask my dad anymore. So that's how I'm able to pass my sewing class the whole semester. I'm like, look at my dad like, yeah, it's so bad. Can't even have money to buy material for sewing class. I just shake my head. Yeah. Yeah, auntie, grandma, and mom are the best tailor. I mean, all the American, I think all the American women in the 60s, the 40s, 50s, 60s, not so even the 70s and 80s, we still sewing outfit, right, for kids. And I remember when I used to get dress made too, my mom uh, has a friend who was seamstress, and she paid her to make outfit for me. I think I still have some pictures of me wearing some of those outfit, and I have to show it. So it was beautiful. Now we don't make those dress anymore. We just go shop for clothes easy, and that value we lost. We lost that value where okay, um damage his let me know what colors. Scarf is nice. I have a beautiful scarf already. I make it's kind of soft browns or tan. It's beautiful lattice flowers. A lot of work on that. You will love it. And yeah, the doll. Well, the amount of time that I spend on making the scarf in this is about equal. But the scarf was just beautiful lattice flower. It's just beautiful, absolutely. I own about five of my own scarf. I started collecting my own scarf because every time I make scarf, I give it away. On birthday, on holidays, on anniversary. So I never have possession of my own work. Now I said, what's wrong with me? Now I kept my own beanie. I never done that before. I kept my scarf. I have many colors on my own scarf, but I crocheted one not long ago for my channel, so I did not use that one. The one that I plan on giving away, I don't touch it because I don't want it to soil, and I don't want to put my energy and into it. When I give it away, I want to give away to a person, the lucky person. And yeah, the scarf is something that I love doing. I do men's scarf also. A female scarf is basically some of the beautiful heart shapes or ladder shapes, or even even the neckwear, with a little heart crossover. And I did a whole lot of that too. So I learned to collect my own crochet product so that I can wear when to show it. And before I never kept it. I said, well, I crochet them. I don't need it for. And then I said, what's wrong with me? I don't have my own products. What's going on with me? I'm supposed to have the most. If you the clothing designer, you don't keep clothes for yourself. What you do? You go to Walmart and buy someone else clothing. That was like crazy. So I have like whole collections of my own product. But the one that I plan on rewarding my followers, I don't touch. I finished it. I put in the box container and put it away. When the season come, when I'm ready to pick names and people that like I that I said that that loving me and supporting me and subscribe to my channel and share and here supporting me. And I know a few people already, just both of you, that's a fine example. So I'm making those, even not cooking, before bedtime. I spend a few hours before bed and I just create something very beautiful, because yeah, I like that. Hello, Bong. Yes. I'm just here talking to Damaged Kiss and CC, just going over some of the mishap with my channel. Yeah. So I try to hello. So I went to log on my channel today so I can do this live together, and it told me that my live is blocked. I went on someone live earlier with some Khmer folk from Cambodia, and they had a little chat room. So I went over to talk about situations, and I was able to log on their channel on the live show, but when I was ready to go on my own live shows, and I couldn't get on, so I have to figure out what's going on with it. I think I've been blocked. So I told you prior that a lot of content creators who talk about who 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 did not agree with Thailand or Thai narrative, you get blocked because they have a whole bunch of fiber attack group that will just block anybody that spread the truth or support the opposition. So I think that's what happened to me. So Dammit Kiss and CC was telling me that I probably have to be careful on my YouTube channel and find a way to like create any kind of mishap for my channel. I'm upset though. Yeah, oh, you still driving? I thought you were cooking earlier. And so that's what happened to my TikTok. I probably have to figure out how I'm going to what do you call it, petition for it, because a lot of people were telling me that sometimes the channel get blocked 3 or 4 times before TikTok finally said, oh, there's no harm in the content. There's no harm. I didn't say anything bad. I just disagree with some of the people. I mean, I don't defame them. I don't hate them. There's no hate speech at all. So there's no reason for my channel to get blocked. But because they don't like to hear the truth, so yeah, well, he got home. Yeah, my kitchen is a mess because the kids are using it and they always get in a habit of not cleaning. So when I do the shows, I'll sometimes spend a couple hours to clean the kitchen before it's clean for me to even before it look presentable. So one day when I finally have $1 million, I will make I'm gonna have my own cooking studio. So maybe I'll hire someone to help clean afterward. I mean, because cooking, it does take a lot of work. Like I said, just like Damaged Kids was doing. She cooks, you have to clean and clean after dinner, clean after cooking. That's a lot of work too. But I found out that when cooking for the show, I have more items to clean because everything have to be like in a separate compartment. So if I have like 10, 15 ingredients and extra the pot and the pans and the floor and the stove, like, at the time I was like, I should stop cooking. And I said, no, I came so far already. I can't give up, and I have people who support me and say the same thing. You cannot quit now. It came a long way. Yeah, I do. Sometimes you have to keep that spirit up, where it's that I cannot give up. I cannot give. Just like life, we went through the very bottom of our life, and now we got to this. We rise up to this level. We cannot go back and change the history. We only can make the history today, and then create better history tomorrow. Every day we create history for for ourselves and for our family. And that's what I'm trying to do on here on YouTube, to create a legacy for my kids, not just for my kids, for young generation, that that cooking is no longer like part of their skill that's being taught anymore. I don't know. I don't remember cooking class. Now they don't do typing class. They don't do handwriting class. They don't do shorthands anymore. There's no sewing class. I don't really have driving aid or not, but definitely there's no cooking class. That's like gone. All the life skills are no longer being taught. So you want those things, then you have to Google it. So I think that legacy create. But young people now, I don't think they want to cook neither. You know, if they make enough money, they just wanted to eat out. They don't have to clean, don't have to cook. But then only for people like religious people who still value in having family, having kids, and they're cooking at home, spend time, quality time with the family, and then they cook. The rest of the time, people don't even cook anymore. So, I don't want to clean after myself. I don't want to clean after my kids. You know, then just go somewhere. We just pick up something, then and that's you know. But then, yeah, you can do that also. But then, no quitting. Yeah, you know, this I mentioned that a few times, then I got shut down, said, stop saying that, and shut down me saying that, you know. Yeah, I know. I'm not a quitter, you know. Sometimes I just like when I get so fed up with it, I'll take a step back and I'll sleep on it and and I yeah, and I pick it up where I left off. Yeah. No, quitting would be too easy, damage case. Because quitting is easy. You don't have to take tests for it. You don't have to take exam for it. You don't have to take quiz. Quit out. Bye. So long. No longer here. You know. I mean, um, uh, right? Still, they're still doing all those. Yeah, and that's important. You know, that's why I always involve grandkids when, even on my show. Sometimes, a lot of time I involve them. You know, allow them to experience it. But a lot of them don't like to be on camera. Then one person that like to be on camera, you see that he's always like bomb my show. He'd be sneaking and making funny face, and I didn't see that because I he was doing behind my back until I review my videos. And, oh, okay, somebody is like being funny, you know. No, you don't have to be chef. You know, I mean, I'm not chef by definition, but you know, I'm not a certified culinary or chef, but I have some cooking classes that I go through extensively in Thailand, also in America. I didn't finish I didn't attend my culinary school program because I don't work for the restaurant where I need to be certified to work in a restaurant. You know, I do this for the shows, and anybody who qualified to cook can call themselves chef. You don't have to be certified from a culinary school to be a chef. And people, my friends said, "Well, you don't have your cooking credential. You can't call yourself chef." I said, "Yes, I can. If I can turn an egg, then I'm a chef." So make it make sense. You know, some people, even your own family, even your good friends, sometimes they just cannot be friend. They can just not give you the support you need. Sometimes they just like stepping on your head and putting you down and picking on the little things. You know, just like type like a typo or misspell on my on my shows. That ew, do you know that? It's no, I. It's okay. No one comment. No one make comment about it. Oh, you the only one that trying to jeopardize it. So then I quit worried about people being overthinking, overcritical of what I do. I just focusing on my own show, on my own goal. If people don't like it, then scroll up, scroll down. I'm okay with that. Mhm. Your sister is a professional chef. I would love to work in the restaurant, but you know, um, at my age, I don't want to suffer myself. You know, I do this for the show and for the family. It's just enough. You know, um, I do something that doesn't have to sweat. Um, I'm doing interpreting and other general work, so working in a restaurant would be nice, but I don't think all that chaotic in the restaurant, the heat and the spillings and all that. I work in a restaurant when I was younger, and that's how I learned some of the cooking skill through just watching. Um, it's like the best first-hand training ever. You don't learn that in culinary school, cooking school. When you stand by the chef, and when the chef get lazy, he said, "Vana, cook," and then yeah. So I already know what he was cooking. So it's not cooking for one person. We're cooking for the senior community. So we're looking at about 350 servings. So it's big serving. It's not like one flip of hamburger. If we do hamburger, we do like 350 hamburgers. If we do fish, we do chicken, we do anything, it have to be the exact amount. So for a few years working in a restaurant, it's better than culinary school because I was taught firsthand. I was in the kitchen flipping and doing and all that already. So if any smart person will not idling, will not sleep on what's already been taught. So you can have your line transfer those skills and give it away, share it, so in order to keep those skills, and you have to share. If you share, it become a blessing. Yeah, culinary school is fun, right? But it take what, 18 months or so, or even 2 or 3 years. It depends on when you become a head chef or just regular chef. A lot of head chef, when the manager, I think they 3 4 years. If you become a master chef like Chef Ramsay and all that, I think it would be nice. One day I want to be on Chef Ramsay and see how it go. But I don't like the attitude though. I can't deal with the attitude. If I get yelled at, I'm not cooking for you. I'm just gonna say bye. I'll see you in Cambodia. Yeah, it would be fun. Yeah, cooking is fun. Yeah, decorative cooking is fun also. I'm not too much of sweet making. But I know to make a lot of Cambodian or Thai dessert, so it just come automatically. Those are things that grandpa, grandma taught from very young age, so that's just easy skill transfer. And a lot of people don't care for it anymore. It's like, oh, what is that? How do you eat that? How do you cook that? And that's why when I bring fruit and vegetable over, and that I have to introduce to them, hey, this is chayote, this is winter squash, this is bitter melon, this is what we cook with, this is how you can cook with this. So if you see this in the Asian store, it's not strange to you anymore. You're familiar with, because I already passed down the knowledge. And that's all it is. If I ever not gonna get monetizing, it'll be great if I do. If it's not, I will just keep doing until you until que sera sera. And like I said, well, thank you. Quitting is not like it's not it's an option, but it's not in the blood. I put it that way. Okay, yeah. Oh, nice, nice. She making she making good money then, huh? My girlfriend, her husband is head chef for major food distributors. So he travel everywhere, paid for. Um, he's always gone. He just travel all over the world. So he making good money too. His wife doesn't have to work anymore. So he's been doing that for what, 30 something years. She did all the bakery. I think pastry would be nice. It's now you see that people can be so creative. The pastry is just like amazing, something that we don't see in better crock cookbook. It's just like when it come out, it's just like that beautiful decoration. I'm just amazed with all the decorations. The food itself can be as dull as heck, but when you add those extra love, those extra fancy work, fancy touch, is what That's what I'm fascinating with. And cooking itself, it does not fascinating me. The fascinating me was the decorative on the food itself, because those draw my attention. Food, don't draw my attention. Food, I can cook 24/7, but decoration, that draw me because I love those kind of little detail. Um, yeah, I the downfall about bakeries that when I was working at the donut shop, I could have be more attentive to the baker, but no, I didn't, I mean, I help with the put the topping and all that to measure and do the ingredient. I didn't pay attention to it. I could have been more efficient in making donuts and fried fried dessert and stuff like that. Now I look back and it's a great loss. I worked in a donut shop for 5 years. I didn't even I'm standing next to the baker, but then I didn't pay attention. I help him do all the fillings, all the beautiful chocolate fillings and all that. But I never noticed the recipe because he makes so much, like the mixing bowl like this big, and then they put in pounds, not cup. They go by pounds and bag of flowers, and it's like, who gonna watch him doing 10 pounds of flour mixing in a big bowl? No, I'll be in the cash register in the front line. I mean, in the counter serving donut. No. Let me know when you need me to do the fillings or do the topping. Other than that, I didn't learn anything from the donut shop. I could have learned it, and so I get more ideas of for my cooking show. Like a lot of things that I learned that I didn't pay attention now, I wish that I can go back and take the note. but but moving forward, I just do out of my memories, out of some trainings that I have, and make it work. Yeah. Yes, you're right. I know, right? We love to eat, but we don't like to cook, and we love to cook, we don't like to clean. So if I cook, you clean. Just like sharing responsibility, that'd be cool. Yeah. So, but anyway, I'm here long enough. I appreciate all the loves and your support, and let me know what color that you prefer, and for both of you, so that I manage. And I know once I lock off the our conversation today would be depleted, so I would love to hear from you on the real times, and just go back on there and send me your comment. Like I said, Cici, I did already updated the recipe for the chow mein. Okay, so I on the chow mein recipe, it's a low sodium. If you like to add a little bit more sodium, then just add some more soy sauce, or go low on soy sauce first. If you don't have enough soy sauce flavor, then you can add, or you can do, you don't like soy sauce, then just do salt is fine too. Okay, so it's very basic. And if you want it softer, then just add a little bit more water and make it work. It's fun and simple. Right, let me know if you need anything else, and I'll log off, and I'll I hope that I'm able to cook tomorrow. I think the kids are in school, and I have a little bit of cleaning up to do. And I already have recipe for. I already have grocery for. So it's gonna be one of the Cambodian basic soul food. Um, I invite you to come back. I'm trying to log on before my companion go on, so that way we not interfere in his time. Sometimes I like to be on his channel and give him support, and you're going to be on channels I like to give the same support. Yeah, thank you for that purple number one uh, band. Purple band. um, all right, so it's good to see both of you, and whoever just came in, welcome. And I have been on here just talking. There's no topic today. It's just a Sunday talk. It's just get to know each other, get to have friends on here. It's great. Thank you, Mom, to heart. Love that. Thank you so much. You beautiful people, have a good evenings and good night where we're at. And if you're from another side of the sun, okay, have so much love and respect. Good night. Good night, Cece. Good night, Damage Kids. Bong. Thank you for the heart. Appreciate that.